Welcome to round review, guys. Reviewing round 7, all of round 7. We're going to just have a quick 15 to 20 minute episode today. And it's just going to make just my little schedule a little bit better. And we're kicking it off with Friday night football between St Kilda and GWS. And honestly, I'm not really surprised that St Kilda won. I'm surprised that they've won by 4 goals though. I thought it would be a bit more closer than that. But yeah, very impressed by the St Kilda Football Club. They've been outstanding for the last 2 weeks. But no, I think they've been outstanding after round 1. I think from round 2 onwards, they've been pretty good. I'm actually going to go back to round 2 to refresh yours and my memory. So yeah, round 2, and there we go. And they took on the West Coast Eagles in round 2, that's right, and they had plenty of opportunities to win that game. They had 4 more scoring shots. 4 more scoring shots than West Coast. They were just inaccurate, and I lost them the game. But come round 3, they bounced back against Brisbane. Should have won by about 80 points. They had plenty of more scoring shots, but the inaccuracy really showed. And it continued into round 4 against Collingwood, where they won comfortably by 14 points. Still had 4 more scoring shots. But then failed it away against the Geelong Football Club. That last quarter just did not help them at all. But yeah, round 6, a huge bounce back against the Hawthorn Football Club. Absolutely murdered them by 75 points. It was an outstanding effort. And then, obviously, coming away with a 23-point win against the GWS Giants, who have been quite disappointing of lately. But yeah, I'm not really surprised the Giants were coming into this and lost. They had a few injuries, but in particular, they just haven't been playing decent football. I know they won last week against the Dogs, but they just weren't playing good football in that game. They were a bit slower. They kept turning it over. Dogs were just... Dogs had a lot of scoring opportunities. I think they had like 6 more scoring opportunities. 8 more scoring shots. So 8 more scoring opportunities. They're just a more better side. But yeah, heading into this game, not really surprised. But it has been quite a bizarre round. There's been quite a significant amount of upsets. But I feel like St Kilda are actually doing better than Melbourne. I think at the moment, St Kilda are way ahead of Melbourne. They're at least 6 positions ahead of Melbourne. Like, I might not show it on the ladder, but what I'm saying is the way they're playing feels like they're easily a top 8 side. They're playing very decent football, and they should continue with this form, because they do take on Carlton next week. And it's at Etihad, which benefits St Kilda. Carlton aren't really a Etihad side. They kind of struggle there. I think we only had 1 game there, and it was against Gold Coast, so we did lose that by 26. So it was a very disappointing game. But they do have their structures back. But for the Giants, they do take on Collingwood Football Club. Expecting to bounce back in that game. Collingwood are absolutely shocking over the weekend, again against Carlton. So it'll be quite interesting to see how the Giants can respond to that. It was quite surprising. One particular stat that got me was the hitouts. The hitouts in particular were dominated by the St Kilda Football Club, which is not what I was expecting. I thought Mumford would do pretty well. I'm not sure if Mumford was injured or what happened. But, just look at the hitout numbers in particular. I had them right here we go. Sorry, they didn't dominate hitouts. It was the clearances. Sorry, they dominated. No, they didn't dominate hitouts. I correct myself. Sorry about that. 49 to 45 hitouts. But clearances, 49 to 38 in clearances. They dominate clearances. They had 15 to 12 centre clearances to stoppages, 34 to 36. So they dominated stoppages, which is fantastic, because that's going to come in very handy next week against Carlton, because Carlton are shocking in stoppages. But they're fantastic in defence and rebounds, 50-metre rebounds. They're probably the best side in the comp for rebounds. So you've got to hit up your targets when you do attack against Carlton. And I feel like the St Kilda Football Club are more than capable of doing that. Best on field would have to be Ross, 31 disposals, 17 contested possessions. But this is what interests me. I've never seen this before. He's got 17 contested possessions and only 15 uncontested possessions. He's got way more, but he's got more contested possessions and uncontested possessions. It goes to show you of how well he's been playing. 2 intercepts, gave away 3 turnovers. You can't be perfect. 4 inside 50s, 3 rebounds, 9 clearances, 3 of them centres, 6 stoppages. Absolutely outstanding for the St Kilda Football Club. What is about his work ethic? So he ran 429 metres. He actually only had 95 minutes and 21 seconds on the ground, which is actually pretty low. So that's quite surprising that he still managed to have such an effect on the ground. So, outstanding by him. Looking straight to the next game, and it is, oh man, oh boy, North Melbourne and Adelaide Crows. Wow. Even I had to question my ability to read this one, because I just couldn't believe what was happening. Top of the ladder, Adelaide dominating, smashing anybody in their path. Up against a North Melbourne side, struggling to win games with a second youngest list in the comp. North Melbourne ended the game in the first 5 seconds. Like, I knew the game was over, but I wasn't expecting it to be over in favour of North. But now they were outstanding right from the word go. How many goals did they kick in the first? They kicked 10 goals for in the first quarter. 10 goals for in the first quarter to nothing. To nothing. Adelaide didn't even get a single point. Oh my God. I remember I saw Eddie Betts before, because I was down at the Carlton and Collingwood game. And yeah, I saw on a video of Eddie Betts. I think he was going for a set shot and missed everything. I was like, wow, what's going on? Jared Waite was outstanding, came back, dominated. I think he got 6 goals. Eddie Betts did bounce back, 3 goals, got his 500th, first in 30 seconds later. But Crouch, this is quite interesting. This is you read these stats, stats and disposals. And North only won it by 1 more disposal count. And the disposal efficiency is obviously going to be with North, 72%, 67. So it's going to come down to turnovers. What about their turnovers? Here we go, 87 to 85. That's extremely high for both sides. That's surprising. So what this tells me is that when it came to North Melbourne getting the turnover from Adelaide, they were able to actually score and make they use it to their advantage, and it was more effective for them. But for Adelaide, they just couldn't do so. They couldn't string up plays too well. And when they did, it sometimes worked, sometimes didn't. But man, this is just unbelievable. 24 tackles inside 50 to 6 in favour of North. They smashed that. Wow, tackles 90 to 50 in favour of North. Contested possession with Adelaide 168 to 161. Uncontested possession 228 to 226 in favour of North. Marks 77 to 69 in favour of North. Contested marks, however, won by Adelaide 16 to 11. So that tells me that North had the numbers, had so many numbers in the open and free, and it was just too easy for them to find targets. But yeah, 59 point smashing. This is, honestly, Adelaide will bounce back. It's going to be, and I think I know who it's going to be that's going to cop it next week against Adelaide. They're going to be pissed. Absolutely pissed, and they're going to come out firing. They'll probably kick a goal in the first 5 seconds of the game next week. I think it's against Melbourne. Yeah, it's against Melbourne, Adelaide Oval. Oh God, if you're a Melbourne supporter, after coming a loss against Hawthorn, you really want to get a ticket and fly to the other side of the planet, because this is going to be interesting. But yes, so yeah, it was quite interesting because Crouch got 38 disposals, Lard 37 disposals, Douglas 30, These are all Adelaide supporters. Cunnington 39, and it drops down to 24, 24, 24, 24, 24. So, and that's Crouch, McDonald, Talia, Thompson, and Wood. But what this tells me is that most of North Melbourne players were sharing the ball. There wasn't just a couple like Adelaide, like Crouch, Lard, and Douglas were getting all the touches. But for North, that everybody was participating. Everybody was quite equal in terms of disposal and possessions. They weren't relying on a certain amount of blokes to actually attack and use the ball, which is good. You want to have variety of players that are capable of assisting in plays. You can't just rely on just a handful. So outstanding performance by them. I want to see these efficiency, 66% efficiency for 38 disposals by Matt Crouch. That's shocking. 15 contested possessions, 23 uncontested. Gave away 8 turnovers. Only 2 intercepts, but 8 turnovers. That's wow. So a lot of problems there for Adelaide. Only in this game. I do always say good sides always have a blooper in some time in the year. This is Adelaide's big blooper. They're going to learn from this. I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. I think it's just a little bump on their way to achieving their goals, and it will take time. It will take time to obvious. Actually, I don't think it will take time. I don't know why I'm saying that. It'll only take about 6 days, 7 day break, is it? I think it's actually an 8-day break. Oh no, it is 7. It is 7 because they don't play Melbourne. Yeah, 7-day break. 7-day break, and they're going to be back at home. So yeah, only have to wait 7 days to get back on the winners list. But again, Melbourne could win. Who knows? But outstanding performance, and Jared Wade coming back to the side in 6 goals. He was outstanding and superb. 6 goals too. I think he had 22 disposals. That's an outstanding return to footy. But I believe he's suspended. I believe he got suspended after coming back from I think it was injury. Oh my god, was it suspension? I don't think they've done it. Hold on. Because there is a lot of talk. Oh man. Jared Wade, he offered 1 match suspensions. Yeah, so he's looking at just the 1 game suspension, and unfortunately that is against... It's against Sydney. So they should win that. Wait a second, guys, I'm just getting something now. Sorry, I'm just getting some news coming through. Oh dear. See, it's Friday today, so, Friday. It's Monday. I wish it was Friday, but no, it's Monday today, so, oh no. I've just received news that Louis Richards has, passed away. Oh dear. No, Louis was a great man. Wow. Sorry, that's just on the website, on the AFL website, it's just come up. Wow. No, he was quite old. How old was he? He was in his 90s. 94. Massive condolences to the families, to Louis Richards' family, Collingwood Football Club, to all fans, all supporters. Louis was definitely a massive footy fan, Collingwood supporter, loved the game, also loved Melbourne. It was definitely a big man, but yeah, that's... I obviously I didn't really get introduced to him till later when I started watching the Sunday Footy show when I was a kid, and I used to do the Louis handball comp. That was pretty entertaining, but and I knew he was a big man. I knew he was a massive importance to Melbourne and to Collingwood, despite the fact being so young, I haven't had the privilege of watching him as I grew up. And unfortunately, because I think I only saw him for about 3 years, and that's going to be quite devastating. But I knew he was a good comedian. But again, massive condolences to the family of Lloyd Richards. But we'll continue. We'll continue to the next game, and which is probably fitting because, ironically, because now it's Collingwood and Carlton's the next game, so that works out quite well. Wait a second! Whoa! Okay, never mind. Sorry, I just for some reason thought that there were 6 games. I don't know why. Next week, in round 8, I thought that was right. Anyway, going to this game, a massive win for the Carlton Football Club. They were absolutely outstanding. They really dominated that first quarter, kicking 3 goals to 1, and that really set up a treat. They have a great history against Collingwood because they always seem to play Collingwood in Collingwood's anniversary games, and they've won all 5 of them now, and it has been absolutely outstanding. Always party poopers we are, but yes, a very interesting performance. It was one of fitting, and it was a contested type game. It needed to be won through the contested ball, and Carlton did that superbly. Outstanding. Petreski's Seaton was so fantastic for the Carlton Football Club. He's been we're really seeing what he's able to do and his talent. I believe he got 21 disposals for Carlton. 21 disposals, kicked 2 goals, 1 sensational, and he's really been something. He just doesn't seem to worry about pressure. He comes to a game as if he's got nothing to lose, and that's how it's worked. It's been absolutely sensational. As for the Collingwood Football Club, they absolutely choked. Buckley was really bizarre. Obviously with Greenwood not tagging Murphy, that was it's been a bit weird with Bucks. He's been I don't know. He just doesn't look suitable as a coach. He hasn't shown really a lot. I feel like yes, he was a good player, but I just feel like he lacks a lot of modern footy knowledge. But again, he was taught by Mick Malthouse, who's an old-fashioned type of coach. He plays old-fashioned type footy, so it really does affect Collingwood and Collingwood's ability to play. And I wonder if they'll actually head into this game thinking, we've won it, we'll just take it easy. Obviously, that's not to be. Carlton really did soak it up, and all the critics are really shutting down from this. Mark Murphy, obviously, he missed. He was injured in round 10 of last year, and he was out for the rest of the year. So the next 12 rounds of football, he just wasn't there. Round 1, had a perfect pre-season, came back round 1, and since round 1, he's just been absolutely sensational, absolutely dominating plays, really living up, probably above expectations about how he will actually come back and what sort of an impact he'll have for the Blues. He's been sensational. Pendlebury's trying to lift the pies, but unfortunately, it's a team sport, not really a one-man effort. Elliott was very good indeed. 3 goals, very accurate. However, the last set shot he had, he did kick it out on the full, which was a surprise to even myself because I thought he'd actually kick that one. It was like directly in front But yeah, a lot of errors. There was so many errors in front of goal in the last 5 minutes. I think Collingwood had like like the 3-4 opportunities to kick a goal in the last 5 minutes, and they just blew it, just behinds, out on the falls. Oh, it was horrendous. And I mean, and the Blues have a structure. They have a defensive structure, a 6-play defensive structure, and it works. It's so effective. We've seen it for the last 2 weeks. It's been sensational. A mixture of both experience and young talents, and it's been surprising. Plowman, Marchbank, Doherty, Simo, Rowe. It's just been a marvel to watch, and it's absolutely sensational. Carlton have always, Carlton of old have always been known to have a solid defence. They've had one of the best defence in the 1900s, obviously in the 1990s, but throughout the 1900s, it was the best defence in the history of the AFL at that time. But yeah, a very interesting performance. However, both sides are going to really come up against top sides next week. Both sides are going to be taking on the Friday night gamers. Carlton head over to Etihad. This is quite interesting because Carlton haven't had they had our own game last week, but this is our first away game, and then they got 1, 2. And they've got 3 away games in a row, Carlton, before a home game. So this is number 2 on the trot, and it is against St Kilda Football Club, who are on fire right now. And it's going to be quite interesting to see how Carlton can continue performing so well, particularly when they've only played 1 game at Etihad, and it was a loss against Gold Coast. So it'll be quite interesting to see it. But yeah, I'm not too confident in St Kilda. It will be quite interesting. As for the Collingwood Football Club, they take on GWS, who are also struggling, but I feel like they got just so much more experienced players, so much more talent, and I think they're gonna get ready to fire up and just go full at it. And if Collingwood aren't ready, it's gonna hurt them really badly. But again, great effort by Carlton. Heading on to another upset game, upset after upset, and that's Port Adelaide and West Coast. I feel like Port Adelaide defeated themselves in this. They had plenty more scoring opportunities. Let me calculate it for you. Yeah, 4 more scoring opportunities. They blew it left, right and centre. But West Coast were just fantastic. When they had the ball, they used it pretty damn well. I think Kennedy kicked, how many goals? Actually, it was Lacroix. Lacroix kicked 4 goals, 1. Kennedy kicked 2 goals, 3. Been inaccurate there. Dixon outstanding for Port, 3 goals, 1. 22 disposals. Wingard, 34 disposals. Ebert, 30 disposals. Piard and Yeon, 27 disposals as well. I feel like Ports really need to... they needed to win these games. Because it's so close and wins are hard to come by. But yeah, if you're going to be a top side, you need to be winning games. You can't just blow out any games, and that one was a huge blowout. I know it was a 10-point margin, but should have won it. They dominated inside 50s, 68-39. They nearly had twice as many inside 50s as West Coast. 38% in efficiency inside 50. That's shocking. That's horrendous. Turnovers at 73 apiece. Clearances dominated by Port Adelaide, 44-35. Unbelievable. Mainly those stoppage clearances got them. Hit-outs, 48-30. Come on, Port. You're going to go to Shanghai next week and take on Gold Coast. You need to be winning. Every game counts. If you want that top 4 position, you have to win. You have to do it. You have to take those chances. You can't just blow them left, right and centre. But fantastic effort by West Coast. It was a huge upset and a fantastic performance. Actually, I think you've won your last 2 games at Adelaide Oval, haven't you? Because I remember you guys, I think it was round 23 last year, you took on Adelaide and you won quite comfortably. But yeah, it was just, not meant to be. Koshi is going to be fuming, no doubt. Let one slip. But nevertheless, it was a fantastic performance by the West Coast Eagles. Heading to, oh, for Christ's sake, another upset. And it is Geelong, it is Gold Coast and Geelong, and Gold Coast won it by 25 points, absolutely trampled over Geelong, who have been struggling this year. They haven't shown a lot. Back-to-back losses right now for the Cats. They kicked 5 goals, 2 in the last quarter, Geelong, but Gold Coast did one better, 6 goals, 5. So, you know, Ablett's been sensational in this game. They had way more disposals, 445 disposals to 378. So again, plenty of opportunity. And yes, the free kick count is 12-9, so it's not that high in favour of the Suns. Clearances, 40-36 in favour of the Suns. 18 centres to 14, 22 stoppages each. Hit-outs, easily dominated by the Suns, 52-34. Tackles, 75-66 in favour of the Suns. 154 contested possession, 142 in favour of the Suns. Inside 50s, dominated by the Suns, 71-48. Unbelievable. 15 marks inside 50-10. Wow. What did Ablett do this week? Only 32 disposals, so below average, you could say. But yes, him and Hall got 32 disposals. Duncan got 33, kicked 1 goal, 64%. Efficiency, 8 contested possessions, 24 uncontested, 3 intercepts, but 7 shocking turnovers. Ablett, 63 disposal. Geez, disposal efficiency is so low this round. 6 contested possessions, 25 uncontested possessions, 8 turnovers. Oh, wow. 2 intercepts, 8 turnovers. Wow, that's not good at all. Hall, can you do something? 75% efficiency, a bit better. 32 disposal, 6 contested possessions, 26 uncontested possessions, 3 intercepts, 5 turnovers, 1 goal, 2, 10 scoring involvements, 10 marks, 1 contestant, 3 clearances, all stoppages, 8 tackles, 3 inside 50s, 2 rebounds. 2 inside 50s. There were 3 tackles inside 50 and 7 rebounds. Not too bad there. I'm probably going to have to go all for that one. Kicked 1 goal, 2. So not too bad there for the Suns. It was outstanding, you know. Anybody can beat anybody this year. Like, I know I've said at the start of the year that anything's possible, and anything is possible. It's been sensational, mind-blowing, sensational, absolutely outstanding. But I do admit I didn't get to see the game because, you know, it's really hard to try and switch onto the game. I was very busy that night. But it was a great performance. I did see the highlights. And it was an outstanding performance by the Suns. They're just, you know, it's amazing what happens when you change your tactics from defensive to attacking. You know, you're charging forward, you're trying to get behind the opposition defence and just make them hurt. Sensational. Looking to next week from both sides. Geelong takes on Essendon at the MCG. That's a 50-50 game with the way they're playing. They've been absolutely shocking for the last 2 weeks. As for Gold Coast, it's going to be a hard one heading to Shanghai to take on Port Adelaide. So, and that one's on Sunday, guys. That's on Sunday, and I'm pretty sure that should be live in every state. It's going to be a quite interesting game to see if the locals can turn out. Moving on straight to Western Bulldogs and Richmond, and it was the Dogs by 5 points in a thriller. I was a bit worried it'll be another upset. You know, competing with the kiss of death. You know, he was out. Oh God! I mean, how the hell can you tip? Like, yeah, St Kilda, I got that, but he tipped North Melbourne. He tipped Carlton. So did I. He tipped West Coast. He tipped Gold Coast. He tipped Richmond. He tipped Sydney. He tipped Hawthorn. But he tipped Essendon in that one. So he got 8 right for that round. And for those of you who don't know the kiss of death, he's one of these tippers in the Herald Sun. So yeah, it was just amazing because I saw it on, I think it was on Supercoach Facebook page, and actually showed it, and I was like, really? What the hell? How the hell does he knew what was going to happen? But yeah, outstanding. 76% disposal efficiency each for both sides. Dogs dominated disposal count, 428 to 351. So they had plenty of opportunities. Inside 50, 62 to 47, absolutely dominated it. 52% efficiency to 49% efficiency inside forward 50. 148 to 145 contested possessions. 274 to 200 uncontested possessions, all of which in favour of the Dogs. So, they're getting plenty of the ball. They're kind of using it. I'm going to look at turnovers. 75 to 73 in favour of Richmond in turnovers. So they're being disappointing. In fact, I was actually expecting the Western Bulldogs to be a bit higher, but I guess all those behinds kind of probably showed it. Clearances, 40 to 32. I think I probably dissected this, but yeah. Hit-outs were quite interesting because 27 to 50 in favour of Richmond. They dominated that, but then they lost their clearances. They were dominating clearances. Stoppage clearances, 27 to 22. Centre clearances, 13 to 10. Who was doing the ruck work? Actually, I really want to know that. Who for Richmond was doing the ruck work? Soldo. Okay. Must have been new. Okay, very interesting there. That explains a lot of why they were losing clearances. But yeah, Richmond fans feeling very devastated. They just, back-to-back losses. They've really been brought down to earth, and they're getting one hell of a reality check of late. Yeah, they started off the game well, like they did against Adelaide, but they seem to always fade out after quarter time. And it's becoming a pattern. It's becoming a pattern for Richmond. It's like they just kind of hide away. They're like, oh, quarter time, we're up by 4 goals. Let's play kick to kick. Seriously? Like, come on. You need to use your opportunities. You need to attack. You need to keep attacking. You need to play all 4 quarters and actually, make some sort of an effort. Reading the wrong game. Sorry. No, all those stats are okay when I'm reading the wrong game because I'm reading on my phone, which is the correct stats, but I'm trying to get the match report because I want to see injuries. The injuries of this game is as clear. Stringer did his knee. Dunkley shoulder. Don't you dare do that, AFL. Dunkley shoulder and Vlaston shoulder. So obviously 2 injuries there for the Dogs and 1 for the Tigers. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting indeed. Looking on to next week for both sides and the Western Bulldogs. Western Bulldogs have a Friday night game at the main stadium. That's going to be extremely tough against the West Coast Eagles, who are got a fortress there. They're very strong. They're usually dominant. So I think they only had 1 game, which they did win that game. It was against St Kilda and Toa, so I keep talking about it because St Kilda dominated it. They just couldn't convert their opportunities. But yeah, I think West Coast are back to dominating again at that fortress, and they should easily win that game. And I do say easily because I'm just not. I'm not sure if the Dogs can really handle the Eagles over. You know what? I'm not going to say easily. I'm going to go West Coast by 4 points, just because I just forgot about. Yes, every Dog fan's probably screaming on their monitor saying, "Are you bloody kidding me, Daryl? You don't remember that bloody fucking elimination final?" I remember it, but this is a different Dogs team from last year, and I think West Coast should win in a close one. I'm going 4 points. As for Richmond, they take on Fremantle at the MCG, 1:10 p.m. That's a 50-50 game, guys. Anybody can win that game. The weather, well, who knows what the weather's going to be. The weather's been just completely random this year. But it will be quite interesting to see who can win that game. Looking on to Sunday games, and it was a huge win for the Sydney Football Club, smashing Brisbane by 54 points. The game was over as soon as the game started. Sydney back to their form. Buddy Franklin kicked 8 goals, whopping 8 goals. You try to stop him. Well, they didn't have any defenders that could stop Franklin. 8 goals, 4. 8 goals, 4. Wow, that's huge. That's probably I'm not sure if anybody else has got 8 goals or more than that. But I believe he's third on the Coleman, equal third on the Coleman. Tom Rockcliffe has always been outstanding for the Brisbane Lions. 32 disposals, 78% efficiency, 12 contested possessions, 20 uncontested, 2 intercepts, but he gave away 6 turnovers because Sydney's pressure was phenomenal. They just absolutely been. It was the best game all year by the Swans, and it took them a bloody long time. Rockcliffe had 7 clearances, 1 centre clearances, 6 stoppage, 11 tackles, 4 of which inside 50, 6 inside 50s, and 2 rebounds. Not bad there at all. Hey, rain. Parker was sensational. He's back to what he needs to be. And Sydney needed to win this game. They needed to win this game. I had confidence they would win this game, and they did. 30 disposals, 63% efficiency, 8 contestants. Most of his game plan has been literally around the centre stoppages. That was where most of his disposals have come from. Looking at contested possessions at 8 and uncontested 19. 3 intercepts, but gave away 6 turnovers. Disappointing. Kick 1 goal 1. 4 marks, 1 of which contestants, no inside 50s marks. 4 clearances, 2 of which, 2 and 2 for centre and stoppages. 1 tackle, inside 50s, 4 rebounds, 2. So, not too bad by him, not too bad. He was very good, and it was just good to see the Swannies supporters actually see something this year. It's taken them a while, but nevertheless, you got the win. It was a good win. It was a must win. So, and you're temporary off the bottom of the ladder. Looking on to round 8 for both sides, and with the Sydney Swans, because there's not much to say with Brisbane. They are a side they're the youngest side in the comp. They got a long way to go, but that's okay. It's a journey. It will take time to build the side up. Looking to next week, Sydney take on, once I find it, North Melbourne at Etihad Stadium, Sunday twilight game, guys. That's a 50-50 game. I'm going with 50-50, guys. I think anybody can win that game. It'll be interesting to see if North Melbourne can continue the dominant performance, or will Sydney continue or start to create a winning performance. Looking at Brisbane, they take on Hawthorn down in Launceston. I think they can win that game. I literally think they can win that game against Hawthorn. I don't think Hawthorn can play too well there. And I think the last time they did it, they got on top in the first quarter, Brisbane, but unfortunately faded off during the game. But they're more than capable of winning in Launceston against Hawthorn. Speaking of Hawthorn, looking at Melbourne and Hawthorn, and a massive congratulations to Hawthorn Football Club finally winning their first game of the year and getting off the bottom of the ladder. About bloody time. Did I just say the first game of the year? I did, didn't I? I'm an idiot, am I? Don't answer that. It's probably too late, but you've already answered it, so yeah, thanks. But yes, their second game of the year. And about time, they're finally getting on top. They're looking a bit more dangerous, and I'm just feeling like that they can really start to build something here. They can really create, just string some wins together, because they do take on Brisbane, and I think again it's a 50-50 game. So they can string a couple of wins together, but it was outstanding performance. They really flew out. It got a bit worrying in that third quarter. It did get worrying in that third quarter. 7 goals to 3 in favour of the D's there. They really hit back, and they hit back hard. It was just a close, solid game. They stringed 2 goals straight during the mid part of the last quarter. And it was enough to hang on against a very disappointing Melbourne side. Melbourne were very highly disappointed, just not performing good football anymore. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, Vonnie was absolutely sensational. He was everywhere on the ground. And he was the one that was trying to lift the side. He was trying to be a leader. He was trying to lift the side. He was trying to create plays. And it was really hard because he didn't really have much support. He was always getting shut down by Hawthorn. He just couldn't find an opening. But he was trying very hard. It was sensational. He had 69% efficiency, 16 contested possessions, 15 uncontested possessions, 3 intercepts, but it gave away 11 turnovers because, again, he had no one to go to. He literally tried to create plays, but he was easily shut down and brought to the ground. Kicked 1 goal, 2 marks, 7 clearances, 5 centres, 2 stoppages, 15 tackles, 3 inside 50s and tackles inside 50, 4 inside 50s, 1 rebound. So that's not too bad. He was sensational for Melbourne. And this does raise a lot of questions for Melbourne because they're going to come across Adelaide next week in Adelaide Oval. And honestly, that could be a 60 to 80 point thumping with the way Melbourne's gone about their footy of lately. They just have not been impressive. I'm not convinced that Melbourne can even make finals with the way they're playing at the moment. I think St Kilda will make finals. But yeah, very highly disappointing. Just going with the stats. Melbourne dominated stats. 430 to 356 disposals. They dominated it. But they just were easily shut down in that, particularly in... Hold on, I've got the wrong stupid thing on my thing. But yeah, no, they had plenty of disposals. They dominated disposals, 432 to 356, as I said. I want... What was it I was going to check again? Yeah, anyway, 75% disposal efficiency in Melbourne, 78% Hawthorn. Hawthorn won that. So it goes to show you they were using the opportunities pretty damn well. 44% efficiency inside 50 to 50% in favour of Hawthorn. 153 contested possession to 128. 281 uncontested possessions to 223 in favour of Melbourne. Marks 106 Hawthorn to 75 Melbourne. Uncontested marks 19 to 11 in favour of Hawthorn. Marks inside forward 50 however in favour of Melbourne, 10 to 9, very close. Tackles were 83 apiece. Tackles inside forward 50, 16 to 13. So Melbourne really trying to apply the pressure, particularly in that third quarter, and just trying to get just the scoreboard ticking, and they did. Unfortunately, they couldn't continue. They were absolutely exhausted after three-quarter time, and they just couldn't keep up with Hawthorn. They tried to get back into it, but yeah, Hawthorn had enough in the tank to hold on and win. They played good defensive football, particularly Burgoyne really lifted in that last quarter and provided a steadier for the Hawthorn Football Club, just so they didn't get trampled over in that last quarter. Turnover 66 to 62 in favour of Melbourne, and that's quite disappointing for the Melbourne Football Club. 37 clearances to 30, despite the fact Hawthorn dominated hit out 61 to 24. Melbourne 15 to 11 centre clearances with 22 to 19 stoppages. So very interesting there. But yeah, as I said, both sides, Hawks taking on the Brisbane Lions. It's going to be extremely tough. Melbourne taking on Adelaide Oval. That's going to be probably even a nightmare. It could be on the cards. So that's going to be extremely tough, extremely difficult. But again, congrats to Hawthorn winning their second game of the year. Straight on to the last game of the round. Not many people probably knew this game was happening because, again, no one really pays attention to Twilight football on a Sunday, Twilight footy on Sunday, and it was an impressive performance in the end by Fremantle. They were trailing for quite a chunk of that game. I think when did they get on top? I think it wasn't until the last quarter. Yeah, last quarter. Well, they started getting on top in the third quarter. They came back in the later part of the second, but in the third quarter they had a bit more control. It was a very steady, even game. Essendon were leading by 2 points at three-quarter time, but then after that Fremantle kicked 6 goals for to just one behind. 6 goals for to just one. Essendon's one behind. They trampled over Essendon. Essendon were exhausted. They were flat out exhausted. They couldn't keep up. Fremantle just found a way to get behind their defence. It was very easy, and they just won quite easily. Disposal count was dominated. They nearly had 100 more disposals than Essendon, 415 to 330. free kicks, 21-12 in favour of Fremantle. That's quite interesting. Not really. It's not really much of a surprise. 41-28 in clearances in favour of the Dockers. What's their hitouts? 59-18. 59-18 in favour of the Dockers. They smashed them. Oh wow. 56-41 inside 50s. 23 marks inside 50s to 12. 136 contested possession, 116, and Essendon won the tackle count, 66-39. Wow. Honestly, yeah, I was a bit worried about my tips because I did tip Fremantle to win this one. I was a bit worried that they might not do it, but they did. They did in the end. They just had so much energy, and their ability to really get behind Essendon's defence was just so. It was easy in that last quarter. It was probably for Essendon supporter a little bit quite frustrating, especially when you've been leading for 70% of the game and you blow it in that last quarter. Essendon just, it's quite hard to get it. And this is where the man of the round comes in. It's Lockie Neal. 40 disposals, 80% efficiency, 16 contested possessions, 24 uncontested possessions, 4 intercepts, 0 turnovers, 1 goal, 14 score involvements, 1 goal, 4 marks, 1 inside 50, 9 clearances, 2 centres, 7 stoppages, 5 tackles, 4 inside 50s, and 1 rebound. Wow. That's definitely, he's definitely the man of round 7. Definitely the best player of round 7 by far. He was sensational. Hill got 37 disposals, so he wasn't too far behind. 62% efficiency, 3 contested possessions, 35 uncontested possessions. Are you kidding me? 35 uncontested possessions. They just let him loose. 1 intercept. However, I remember he did give away a lot of turnovers, 9 turnovers to be precise. Kicked 1 goal, 13 score involvements. I think he also kicked it down the full a couple times. 16 marks, 3 marks inside 50, 6 inside 50s, 2 rebounds. But yeah, nevertheless, it was a massive win. Zach Merritt was outstanding for the Bombers. Got 28 disposals, 71% efficiency, 11 contested, 18 uncontested, 5 intercepts, 3 turnovers, 1 goal, 1 out of the full. 4 goal, so score involvements, 4 goal assists, 1, 4 marks, 1 contestant, 5 clearances, 1 centre, 4 stoppages, 7 tackles, 2 tackles inside 50, 3 50 inside 50s, and 4 rebound 50s. Yeah. Sensational. That was pretty good. But yeah, just very impressive by Fremantle. They're winning games. They've been very competitive. They've been outstanding. Had a bit of a blooper last week against West Coast, which I was quite surprised about because I thought they'd actually be very competitive in that game. But 41-point loss wasn't handy. But they did bounce back. Looking to both sides teams next week. And Fremantle take on the Richmond Football Club at the MCG. That's going to be a 50-50 game, guys, so get down there. It's going to be exciting. As for Essendon, they take on Geelong at the MCG. That's also going to be a 50-50 game. Both sides can win them. It'll be quite interesting. But yeah, anyway, congratulations to Lockie Neal. Outstanding, best man of the round, 40 disposals, 80% efficiency. He was outstanding. He was just outstanding. But yeah, that's it from me here, guys, at AFL Legends Unite. Again, sorry about all the videos. I've been very busy. It's been extremely difficult for me to actually get back into it, but I'm trying to find a more easy way that works for me and try to cut down the videos at the same time. But anyway, that's it from me here at AFL Legends Unite. You all take care, stay safe, and I shall see you in the next video.